He hijacked a prison transport with a gun he'd smuggled inside his own body, rose to the top of the Aryan Brotherhood, and died in a prison gym with 5 stab wounds to his chest. This is the story of Wendell Blue Norris. Wendell Warren Norris came up inside the California prison system in the late 1960s and early 70s. By his mid-20s, he was already known as a violent white convict and one of the early soldiers of the California Aryan Brotherhood. In 1971, at about 25 years old, Norris made his first big mark. Locked up at the minimum security unit in Tehachapi, he and 2 other inmates scaled the fence and broke out. On the run, they kidnapped a couple at knife point, forced them to drive the trio to Bakersfield, and then dumped them before they could be killed. Police caught the escapees at a bus terminal and sent Norris right back to prison with an even bigger target on his back. After more time and more escape attempts, Blue finally paroled in 1978. Freedom didn't last long. On January 14, 1979, during what he later called a drug deal gone wrong, he and an accomplice went to a man's house. By the time it was over, the man was dead on his own floor, shot by Norris. Blue was arrested again and hit with another life sentence. The most infamous chapter came on May 27, 1981. Norris was being transported from Folsom State Prison to a county facility. Shackled in the back seat between 2 deputies, he suddenly pulled out a hidden .22 caliber revolver he'd smuggled into the system, pointed it at them, and ordered them to drive him to San Francisco. As he tried to make the officers handcuff themselves together, the driver slammed the brakes, crashed the car, and bailed out. Other units swarmed in and dragged Norris from the wreck. He was convicted of kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, and attempted escape, earning yet another life term. Inside, his status only grew. By the early 1980s, Wendell Blue Norris sat on the Aryan Brotherhood's 3-man commission. From a prison cell, he was tied to orders for racial attacks, drug rackets, and assaults on both inmates and staff, including a campaign of violence at Folsom in the late 80s that left prisoners and a correctional officer bleeding on the concrete. But power inside a death squad gang never lasts. By the early 1990s, internal politics and beefs inside the Aryan Brotherhood caught up with him. Norris dropped out of the gang, debriefed with officials, and in AB terms that meant one thing: his name went on the green light list. On April 7, 2003, at Calipatria State Prison, guards found Wendell Blue Norris in the prison gym with multiple stab wounds to his chest, a homemade knife nearby. He was 57 years old. Authorities ruled it a suicide, saying he'd stabbed himself 5 times. Others believe the Brotherhood finally collected on his green light.